Alright, hi everybody, this is Bonkai922, Captain Earth. This was a very interesting episode, by the way. Got a voice actor in this episode that I didn't expect. Because what ends up happening is, episode 11, um, Mirror of Setsuna, I believe this was called. And, let me just make sure of that. Yeah, through the window through the window of Setsuna. Now, the girl that's with Daichi, and Akari and everybody, who's part of, she goes to this bar, to meet this guy who was part of the task force. And the character who is voiced by him, the guy who's voiced by this character, is none other than the same guy, Zaraki Akianu. So it was a big surprise when I heard his voice. I was like, holy shit, it's fucking Zaraki, yo! But, yeah, basically, what we find out in this episode is about the company known as Macbeth. And, basically, they were the ones who essentially made the design children. Who made them, who harbored them and all that jazz. And surprisingly enough, this episode was focused on this girl, Setsuna. So I'm rubbing my eyes. And she basically is similar in a way, because she actually has a skull. Like Hana. But unlike Hana, she's a design child. Now, the task force guy that she meets, explains to her, he explains to her that, Macbeth had the design children, but you using them to create weapons and such, and about the guy who was the head of the Macbeth, that he apparently committed suicide and so on and so forth, and that he never found out what happened to the design children, so to speak. And we also get a flashback with Mr. Jesse and James. And what made this, and this is, I'm probably going to give this I'm going to give this higher than I usually would. 4.5, surprisingly. Because the ending was kind of shocking. It got me like, ooh, very intrigued. Now, we have that doctor, that professor, Mao, from last week. And apparently she's the one who is like taking care of Setsuna. And we find out, because Akari and Hana are at the pool. It was a funny scene. She's like, like these two dudes walk behind Hana and Akari, and they're like, that's one lucky squirrel. This girl's sitting on Hana's lap. I'm like, god damn. And Akari's like, she's so upset. This is so ridiculous. But they meet with Setsuna at the pool. And, the squirrels meet each other. And it's like, she's like, Kari's like, I'm the main heroine. What's with these squirrels? It's so squirrely. Yeah, I thought that was funny. So, but what ends on happening is there's kind of a gunfight with Daichi Teppei against those Jesse and James. And basically, they have this little fight, they said they were going to kill Daichi, and Teppei protected him, and they realized that that Albion has a Luster now. And this preludes into a altercation, they eventually leave, though. And what happens, though, is Setsuna is told by Mao to sit in this device, and there's this one part where I think Mao kisses Setsuna, and Setsuna sees everything. She sees the whole thing, and she realizes, all you want to do with me is to make me your vessel, and she just runs away. Now, what was weird about this scene was this guy showed up. Now I think this is the same guy who was there um earlier on in the episode, who was with Mao doing the experiments and shit. And he shows up and like, because Mao tries to run after Setsuna, he says, Setsuna, and she gets hit by the door. This guy shows up. We don't see his face immediately. We see a gun. Boom. She's dead. I was like, whoa. Who is this guy? And you see his face, and I was like, I think he might be the guy that was there before. And what was weird about it is Rocky, Jesse, and James, they don't get Setsuna. Because Setsuna basically runs away and she leaves and she's walking away. And that's when we get towards the end of the episode where it's the guy, he's in a truck, and he says Robin Sama on the phone, and he says, do you have it? And he says, yes, I do. And we just see this body bag. Yeah, a body bag. Where's Uber Akari? Of this humanistic figure in the body bag, and this like weird dish thing in the truck. And that's where essentially the episode ends. I was like, whoa. So they didn't get to Setsuna. And apparently Setsuna's codename is Siren. But very intriguing this episode. Also we found out, I forgot to mention, the guy who was the CEO who committed suicide, the guy we have now in the company, he took over. We got that explanation as well. But and we saw kind of like a flashback backstory with Jesse and James. I'm calling you Jesse and James. I don't give a and how they can go outside and everything and all a bit. And I mean, this whole show Captain Earth is intriguing me and stuff. And I can see an end game of what they're trying to do. Because they believe, they're the spirit race. But like you could see, like Setsuna doesn't. She doesn't want anything part of it. At least from my point of view, for me. Now, the only thing is, I don't think that guy that killed Mao, I don't think he's part of them. No, I don't think he is doing this for the same cause as the design children are doing it for. I think there's a different person from that is doing this, so to speak. But it was an interesting episode. I found 4.5 out of 5 because the ending shocked me. I didn't expect that guy to kill Mao. I was like, wow, where the hell did that come from? He just shoots her. I was like, holy shit, that's insane. But I think in the truck, what was in there, I'm gonna take a wild guess. That is probably Mao's body. No, because the reason I say that I don't think they're involved. That guy with, Jesse and James, is because they noticed that it was cleaned up and that blood was spilled here. Like it was weird how that was said and done, but very interesting turn of events. Setsuna escaped. But we'll see how this goes for next week. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else to add. This guy who just killed Mao. I was just like, what the fuck? Where the hell did he come from? But yeah, should be interesting for next week. I'm Bonkai922. See you guys later. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. We'll see what happens next week. Things are getting interesting. Also, next week we're gonna have another guy. It's like a boxer kind of thing. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'll see you guys later.